Hello and welcome back to the finish line and an absolute jam-packed about an hour and a half, 2 hours we are in the store for. We are going to preview the majority. Tom looks worried already. The majority of the races are at the Dublin Racing Festival.
I was going to hear that long.
The one day you're off the wine and all. Or was that
This is Tom's day that he spends his hour with the fiance to watch his TV show. What TV show is it again, Tom?
Dave, we just had it on. We had the first hour.
Oh, stop!
And as soon as this over, I'm going back to it. 90 Day Fiance. It's just like watching Jeremy Kyle. It just makes you feel a bit better about your life, and we need that in this lockdown. Yeah.
He's watching 90 Day Fiance, and I'm watching The Punisher. It's different scales, Andrew.
I'm watching Peppa Pig. It's great crack.
Yeah, don't have kids, guys.
I have 3. It's great. Anyway, we're going to preview majority of the race from the Dublin Racing Festival and some 3 races from the Sandown card. Then we're going to give our picks for our handicaps, whatever we fancy at Ferry or Leopardstown and Sandown. We're meant to be recording a Cheltenham Festival anti-post video, but we are going to change that to Sunday and do it live on Talking Points. So it's an extra treat for you on Sunday. I say treat. But anyway, we good 12 races to go through, so we'll be crack on.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to start off on Saturday at Leopardstown 150, the 2.5 mile, 2 mile 6 novice hurdle, grade 1. So we have a field of Galliard de Mesnil at 7-2. Now, these 4 people get on to me. Now, these prices were done at 10 o'clock this morning, so no prices have changed. I don't care. I'm not changing them again.
You tell him, Andrew.
Cape Gentleman at 7s, Holy Macapony 10, Ashtail Bob at 10s, Gentleman's Game at 10s, and 12-1. Bigger the rest. Dave, you are all over this Galliard de Mesnil. Still confident?
Oh, I'm very, very confident. He's in album photos colours, and he's grey, and he's Willie Mullins hot pot. I backed him to win this and to win the Ballymore. I know the 2 of you are quite sweet on Bob Ollinger, and we were talking on Sunday, saying how much that race is looking like the big novice race to watch. The Supreme doesn't really seem to have much in it, bar Appreciated and a few other rags. I think this lad's really good. He was well touted coming into the winter. He got bet by Holy Macapony. I'd forgive any horse one run. Form of his last race is exceptional. Times, the lengths, he beat horses that are coming out and beating other horses well. He would look to be the Ballymore horse that Willie usually has a decent horse for it. I think he wins this, and then
if Holy Macapony comes back to that first run, surely a worry.
No.
Why not?
Just not. I wouldn't say he was ready first time out. Now, we had this conversation last year about some of Willie's horses when they run first time. Some of them are fit enough when they come in to do themselves justice. Others just take leaps and leaps forward on their second run. Similar to what Aidan O'Brien does on the flat. Aidan is never worried if his horse loses first time out. Geez, there was a few years ago, Faheen was bet a couple of times on his first run of the season as well. It never made any difference to him. So I think he's actually my best bet of the weekend.
Spoiler alert.
Weekend done and dusted after the first, second.
Well, it could make or break it, to be honest. So,
who are you going for, Tom?
If all of these turn up, it will be one of the best races of the weekend, I think. There are so many good races, but you just go like this has got the horses who this could really sort out the Albert Bartlett picture. If one of these was to go and win and win well, Ashdale Bob is hanging around the Albert Bartlett picture. So is Fakira, seems to be the wise guy's horse for that. And Statler is obviously the favourite for the Albert Bartlett at the minute. Cape Gentleman's horse, who has only had one start over hurdles, that might not help him that he's only had one run over hurdles. But was extremely extremely impressive in the Irish Cesarewitch last season. Is a pretty lightly raced horse. And if he goes to show what he has on the flat over hurdles, he could be something special. He's rated 100 on the flat. Look, Galliard Domestinil, I've nothing against him. He was very impressive the last day. The two horses in second and third were both trained by Henry de Bromhead. They've both come out and won. I think that gives Henry a nice little link into Holy Macapone, who's already beat Galliard Domestinil, and you're taking a leap of faith because Holy Macapone ran too bad to be true the last day. I have no idea why. I don't think they do either. He just stopped very, very quickly. So you've got to take a leap of faith that didn't happen, that he'll come back from that. But if you took that run out, he'd be favourite for this.
Yeah.
And he's 10-1. So at the prices, I'm happy to play Holy Macapone. But in what is a very good race, that if there's probably there's at least 4 in there that if they won, I wouldn't be surprised. So,
Dave, on Galliard de Mizanil, what makes you think he's going to go to the Ballymore after this? This is more or less whoever wins this goes Alba Bartlett, more or less.
He's just speedy and he stays. He's always been quoted high up in the Ballymore. So to me, 2 miles is too short for him. He needs that 2 mile. It's 2 mile 6. It's a furlong further. That's all. It's not like it's fucking 3 mile 2 or whatever.
I wonder will Willie run both of his here? It'd be interesting to see if he does.
It wouldn't surprise me, and Statler might be running on at the end to show that he needs the extra couple of furlongs.
Yeah, I presume like Statler is drifting in the market. He opened up 10-3, he's gone out to 5s in a place. Like Galliard de Mesnil, I'm never going to say that fucking name right. So, Album Photo's grey little brother. That's what I'm going to call him from now on.
I hope he wins and this horse is class and he's around for years because he'll just torment.
I'm just going to call him GDM.
Say his name.
It's wrecking my head already. We're only not even 10 minutes into the show and I'm actually fed up with his name already. I hope he doesn't win. Look, I don't know if he's the obvious one. Like, as we say, Holy Macapone is beaten, man. There's no reason why to say Holy Macapone. Henry's horse are never revved up either, ready to go first time up. So for him to do that first time out, beating Willie Munnajoke, like you're right off the last run. There was something obviously amiss. He stopped like he was after getting shot. Rach jumped off him straight away. Look, at 10-1, I'd be willing to take a chance with him. Cape Gentleman is very interesting one. Absolutely done a hack canter, winning a punch down. Couldn't have been any more impressed than that. Look, he's the experiences against him. Look, he was a Cesarewitch winner on the flat. Lots of class about him. Looked very classy going around. Jumped well. In the main, he's 6-1. He's an interesting one, as I said. Ashdale Bob's another one. He got to the second flight behind Bob Ollinger. He came off the back of that, beating Fakira by easy enough over in a grade 2 at Naas, I think it was, back in November or December. But look, it's a hard race to get a hold. I won't be as confident as Dave is now on Willie Mullen's horse. But at the price, you take a chance on Holy Macapone, you come back to it. You grin on your face because I won't say it anymore.
No, it's just because I knew you were going to say Holy Macapone because he's trained by Henry de Bromhead.
It's not to do with training by Henry de Bromhead. It's the fact that he's had to beating him already. How can you back him after the last day? There's no possibility. You have to watch him and see this. What's my famous saying I always say to you? Forgive a horse one bad run. There was obviously something up with him. He came into the hole. Shut up, I'm talking. He came into the whole straight and he ran like he's having a heart attack.
No,
he just stopped.
I tell you who he ran like. Deffy Desai. That's what we ran like.
You stopped the lights with that joke.
Yeah. Travel away there, then just decide he's going home for tea.
So what was the excuse then? The first one where they absolutely bolted up, beating the favourite.
Maybe he's just going to win first time out every season.
But how can you fathom that on the back of 2 runs?
How come Galliard de Mesnil, how could he have been fit? Maybe he got really fit the second time.
And what's to say Holy Macapony wasn't fit?
I'd be wicked disappointed if this Willie Mullins thing isn't an airplane. No, that's the God's honest truth.
He won very well at Leopardstown. He was visually very well, looked very well. As Tom said, he beat 2 horses that they're coming out and winning again. But I don't know, 5-2 is not really that tempting when you have Cape Gentleman who could be anything, and Holy Macapony who was beating him already. To me, it makes sense to go with one of them.
The difference is you're getting 4 times the price of Holy Macapony, and you know he has the ability to beat Galliard de Mesnil on his day. So you are taking it on trust that he's well, but the fact that Henry's even running him suggests that he is. So.
Guarantee he won't run now, watch.
If he taken out. If he doesn't run, who? Holy Macapony?
Yeah, he won't run.
If he doesn't run, Cape Gentleman interests me. I watched him the day he won his maiden hurdle. He stood out like an absolute sore thumb going around there. What's he rated? 100 on the flat or something like that?
Yeah.
He jumped.
When Galliard goes up, I'm going to text you and say, I told you so.
That only happens once a year when you're right.
This is the once.
Look, I'm not saying he's not going to win. He could obviously win because he was impressive last time. It's just 2 horses there that interest me against him.
Do you know what it is? You love Bob Ollinger so much, you're actually scared. Deep down, you're scared. Willie Mullins has a horse that's going to beat Bob Ollinger.
After watching the interview that Rachel Blackmore done on ITV last week, where what's his face? I can't even remember his name. Ed Chamberlain said to Rachel, "Are you scared of anything in the Ballymore? Are you scared of Brave Man's Game?"
No. That's not what he said. He said, "Are you scared of Brave Man's Game?" Didn't ask her about Galliard.
And she said no. And I tell you now, I think Brave Man's Game is better than that.
We shall see.
12 minutes on the first race. We're going to be here until 2 a.m. if we keep up at this right now.
It's great, isn't it?
Sure, you have 90 days of the fiance thing to watch anyway, so loads of time.
Loads of time. Who needs
it's recorded anyway?
Next, on to the Ladbrokes Dublin Chase. Shakan obviously installed as favourite with Min 7-2, Notebook is 6s, Size and Potsy 16s, Tornado Flyer is 20s, Fakir Dudari is 33s, and Castle Grace Paddy is 40s. What's there really much to say about this? Shakan wins.
Shakan next.
Yeah, I'm not even getting into this because I just give up. There's no challengers to this horse anymore, so.
I'd be surprised. Min will probably turn up, but he'll beat Min anyway because he's too fast for him. Notebook, he's beaten him already. Size and Potsy is not up to grade 1 standard. Tornado Flyer is the liability. Fakir Dudari is the biggest tripless horse walking God's green earth, and Castle Grace Paddy just shouldn't be running this.
You know what'll happen? Fakir Dudari will probably be second and run well, and then be crap again the next day. I can't. He's a lunatic. He's
so tripless. Like everything he does just screams out, "I don't know how to run fast. I don't know how to stay on. I just go my one little pace over every trip."
Shakan will win. We're missing Cashback and Jingle though. They are funny to watch. I love watching the two of them.
You just want to see someone die.
Oh, lunatics.
Oh God! Right, moving on. That was quick. Happy with that, Tom?
Yeah, that's better. That's more like it.
This is going to take longer. We have an Agamene, a 5-6, Unexpected, a 5-1, Captain Guinness at 10s, Franco de Port at 10s, Felix doesn't know how to run quick or slow or fast AG, Darver Star 16s, and 20-1, bigger arrest. Dave, you're big on an Agamene. If you don't say it like that.
I'd just like to point out this weekend at the moment, Asterion Ferrange is running, Felix Deji is running, Mums Tipple is running.
Jesus Christ.
Coggery is back from retirement, and I'm sure there's another lunatic running as well. It's definitely going to be
Lammy Surge.
Lammy Surge. He's not because the hurdle race is gone now. Unless he runs in the chase.
Poor Lammy. He's even more fun over a fence.
I questioned what happened to Felix Deji earlier in the year, that he was like, seemed to be calmed down. Then the last day he came right back to form for me and did exactly what I wanted him to do.
Ran fast, pulled up,
and then
ran
slow,
fast
and
again,
then fast, and then slow, and
slowed
then just
down,
came up.
and died. It's just
I hope Nergamene
no. Try that again.
I hope Nergamene
There you go.
is the
Awful,
horse that I think
that was
is
awful.
wins this well and then goes on to the Arkle. We haven't seen Unexpected since he won that beginner's chase really well at the start of the season. He'd be a good horse, I'd say, if he runs, but hard to know. But Energamene.
Tom?
Yeah, tough to know what's going to run here. Whether Willie is going to run Energa Mene after 24 days, or whether Unexpected we see him again after a 109-day break, and he's also go Franco de Port. Yeah, tough to know. Obviously, if Energa Mene turns up, he'd be a very short price. The only thing about him is he's never even ran in a graded race. His first run a graded race, and he's odds-on favourite for a Grade 1. So that's interesting enough. And he looks every bit a Grade 1 horse. Don't get me wrong, but it's just interesting. He's never ran in a graded race before. He looks to have the better of Captain Guinness. Unaccepted is still very interesting and open. The one I'd put up each way is Darva Star. Very consistent horse. Has ran twice in Grade 1s at Leopardstown, has finished second both times. Pretty much banking on him turning up here, aren't you? Gavin Cromwell, I'm just looking at his form there, isn't in the best of form, is the only thing. But if you were looking for an each way bet, I'd say Darva Star to fill one of the places 10-1.
Are we expecting an urban? What the hell was that? Who has to talk back on? Look, do we realistically expect Nergamene to win this? Yes. Do we expect Unexpected to run? Willie doesn't really want. Does he really run two 2-mile chases together? Novices, obviously. Yeah, he probably would, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't say be put off by it. Different owners as well. So.
If Unexpected turned up, he'd be the one for me, really. He's brother to the absolute loony bin that is Great Fields. And when he was on song, he was unbelievable. But when he missed the fence, he nearly killed himself about 6 times. But he was very good in his beginner's chase. It was done where Captain Guinness got pulled up with a Dave O'Keefe. Defibrillated heart. What? I copyrighted that. I'm allowed to say that. And
it's defibrillating. That's the word you're looking for.
Look, he had a heart problem. Then he was well and truly put in his place by Nergamene. The gloss has kind of gone off it. He'd need to get very close, a lot closer from this time. Darva Star, I'd be interested if he's stepping up in trip. I think 2 miles is too short for him. I think he just runs on late on 2-4. I'd be interested in him. Over at Felix Deji, God only knows what he's going to do. If they go off like the clappers, Franco de Port could be one picking up the pieces again. Exactly what he done the last time.
If he wins this, I'm giving up betting.
Yeah, it's the only way he wins this if Energamene goes out in front. Unexpected follows him with Felix Deji, and the three of them cut each other's throat going around. He'll just sit off the pace and pick him up. That's all he done the last time. He was out the back majority of the way till the turn, and I picked him up. It'll be disappointed if any of the top 3 don't win. I don't expect Captain Guinness to win. Unexpected, I think, will give Nergamene a race. And I hope Nergamene wins just to give us some sort of race in the Arkle against Shiskin. He has to prove does it on better ground.
Shiskin the other day.
I had this argument too. I'm genuinely just trying to make the Arkle sound more exciting. He needs to prove it on not heavy ground. Oh, I don't know. There's something about Unexpected. I think if he gets left loose in front, he could be anything. He just bowl along, pop away, and kick on.
This is based on one run, though. Like, we are basing all that on one run. I just think Darva Star is the solid Grade 1 horse that will fill a place. So I'll take 10 to 1 each way and take the each way money. If he wins, happy days.
He was beaten though by Franco Laporta last day, and he's behind Size and Potsy and Felix Stagey the time before that.
Yeah, but that was a ridiculous race. That race the last day was mental. So he was only beaten 4 lengths as well by Franco Laporta in a mental race, and he was 9 lengths clear then of Felix Stagey. So I've no worries about that. His hurdle form is good. He's getting it together over fences. I think he likes a strongly run race. Yeah, I'm happy enough for him.
Look, I'd be disappointed if Energumene doesn't win, but I'm interested if Unexpected turned up just to see how good he actually is. Now, we'll move on. Irish Champion Hurdle. We've Honeysuckle in at 6-4, Sharjah at 9-4, Saint Wa at 6s, Abracadabras 9s, Sally at 14s, and Perimushwar at 20s. So we more or less have the Madisons 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th all coming up against each other again, with Honeysuckle, last year's winner, thrown into the mix. Been interesting this week. Honeysuckle is on the drift in the mares and being back for the champion. If she wins this, Tom, does it kind of play to the hand, right, we skipped it last year, we'll go this year? I personally wouldn't in a million years put her over 2 miles. She's not quick enough. Her jump is not quick enough. What do you think?
They didn't do it last year. I don't see any reason why they're going to do it this year. You know, they won the Irish Champion Hurdle last year. She was unbeaten, and they still decided to go for the mares. You know, arguably, well, not even arguably, she was more impressive in the Hatkins Grace last year than she was this year. So I don't see why they're gonna decide to go for the Champion Hurdle. Fair play to them if they do, but no, I can't. I don't see it. I just don't see it at all. I think she'll go for the Mares Hurdle, which is an interesting point, right? Because as far as I'm aware, isn't she in a place? Concertista is favourite for the Mares Hurdle.
Yeah.
Which is mad when you think about it, because yeah,
it's a ridiculous price. She hasn't done anything that Honeysuckle has done.
Honeysuckle is 3-1, and Concertista is 9-4, and Honeysuckle is 11-8 favourite for the Grade 1 Irish Champion Hurdle at Leopardstown on Saturday. Like, that's mad, isn't it? Really, like, what price would Concertista be in this?
She won't be 6-4, and that's for a fact.
Would she be 11-8 favourite? Like,
No.
I can't have that at all. So, yeah, I think the prices look wrong there in that mares race. Even with the couple of bookies who are doing non-run and no bet, Honeysuckle is still 9-4, and Concertista is 2-1. Jesus, I'd take Honeysuckle. Thanks very much. At those prices, anyway. Look, for the weekend anyway, that enough about Honeysuckle for now, but Sharjah always picks up the pieces, doesn't he? Would I ever back him at 2-1 for a race like this? No. St. Roy, my beloved Champion Hurdle hope, is interesting. I saw an interview with Willie the other day, and he said St. Roy was disappointing, and that just kind of shows the regard they hold him in. Like, they obviously think he's up to Grade 1 level. So look, I'm inclined to give him another chance. Abracadabras is just not a horse I like. Saldier is a hype job. Petit Mouchoir, a bit like Sharjah. You know he's going to be bang there, but you wouldn't fancy him to win one. At 5-1, simply a price thing. If you're looking for a bet in the race, I'd have a small bet on Saint Ra. I'd love to see Honeysuckle win, though, in saying that. So it's a heart over head, or a head over heart decision to have a small bet on Saint Ra. But look, you'd be cheering on Honeysuckle, I think, wouldn't you?
Dave, how are you seeing it? The Queen going to win back-to-back Irish champion hurdles?
Look, it's very hard for the Geldings to give weight away to really decent mares. Very, very hard. But I just don't see her as a 2-miler. I don't think she'd win the champion hurdle. I think her jumping is too slow. I think if she raced against Benny again, if she went for the mare's hurdle, she'd beat her. It's hard to quantify Concertista's form because she seems to win easily or win by many, many lengths. To me, the bet in this is Saint War again. You go back to his form. His second against Abra Cadabras, in reality, wasn't a bad run because he did everything wrong and still should have probably won. He got a bad ride as well, but he did everything wrong in jumping and like pulling himself half the track and then dropping to the back and then coming on the outside. So he should have won that race, and I think majority of people would admit to that. At Christmas, he was just the talk, and he has been the talk not even since he won the county last year. Before that, go back to last winter.
Handicap plot job.
Go back to handicap. The last winter, he was a handicap plot job, and they don't know what happened when he lost that race in Clonmel. We had Patrick on, and he said that he said we expected him to win, and he just put in a bad run. That was last December. He didn't run well over Christmas. That was last December. He came out then last year in January, won at Tramore, and then went on to Cheltenham. I give him one more go at it. The regard that Ruby talks about him when he's commentating, the regard that Willie clearly holds him in, because he's definitely the number one champion hurdle hope at the start of the year up there, and how AP talks about him as well. They definitely think he's good enough for the champion hurdle. So I give him one more shot at the price.
Could it be that he was so good last year in his work and everything that he's now stepping up into open grade a company and he's just finding it everything happening too quick for him, or is the jumping is not standing up to it? Did he get bogged down the last time in the ground? What way would you look at it?
He might have needed, though, like he's had 3 runs this year. He might have needed those runs, like you were saying, to kind of get up to the speed of racing at that level and the jumping and all that. I do think you'll see a different horse on Saturday, and he'll go close, whatever happens.
I think he actually needs a quicker run race. I think the quicker they go, the better his jumping will be. And yeah, I think he'll improve. He'll also improve for going over to Cheltenham, I think. He handled the whole experience very, very well last year and bolted up. So I'm just looking, he's 14-1 for the champion hurdle now, and yeah, I wouldn't be put off by that at all. Like, I think if you said, put it this way, right? Sharjah is second favourite for the champion hurdle, 7-8-1, and Saint-Roi is 12 and 14-1. Paul Townend is Willie Mullins' top jockey. He's his first choice jockey. He can ride whatever he wants. Who's he going to ride at the weekend, Saint-Roi or Sharjah?
You can't ride Saint-Roi. Mark Walsh should ride him.
Mark Walsh.
What am I on about? I was using the comparison. I thought, like, because Patrick rides Sharjah. Yeah, Mark Walsh is going to ride him. Fair point. However, the point being, if you asked Willie Mullins then, who's the better horse in your book going into a champion hurdle, Sharjah or Saint-Roi? I think you'd be 9 times out of 10 he'd say Saint-Roi. So,
but then if you take literally on Saturday, Sharjah's former now Leopardstown or Saint-Roi. Come Cheltenham, he probably will pick Saint-Roi, but
yeah, but this is where price comes into it again. On Saturday, Sharjah's 2-1, Saint-Roi is 5-1, and for the champion hurdle, he's half the price of him, Sharjah is. So at the prices, I definitely take Saint-Roi.
The way I'm seeing this on Saturday alone is like, are we trying to make this too hard? Honeysuckle's unbeaten. She's never been beaten in her life. She won this last year, even on the back of making an absolute balls of the last, and she still got up to win. Yes, this probably on paper looks a better race. Let's not forget, like Sharjah bombed out in this last year as well after winning at Christmas time. Like Darva Star was second, who was on a roll that year. Like Saint Maud has to come back and show that he still has the ability. Well, he obviously has the ability, showing that he's up to this level properly. You have Abracadabra, so Honeysuckle, in my opinion, will beat every day of the week. They're getting Saldier, as Tom says, as a talk horse the whole time. Petit Mouchoir is Petit Mouchoir. He'll run his race as always. She's getting £7 off everything still. She's a multiple grade 1 winner. The track will suit. The stiff finish of Leopardstown, I'm full sure suits her down to the ground. She's another year older. She's another year stronger. Another year wiser. I'm sure her jumper will come on a small bit again. She's not a bad jumper. She's just a touch slow. We're looking at an unbeaten mare, a multiple grade 1 winner against horses that pick up things. Sharjah picks up places. St. Rod is still unknown really. Abracadabras is a notorious, doesn't really fight much. Saldier has glass legs, and then Petit Mouchoir is Petit Mouchoir. I think we're making this too hard. I think Honeysuckle beats these every day of the week.
Look, she's class, but she's definitely better over 2 mile 4. Like,
I think she is. She's 100% better at over a trip.
Right? She doesn't jump hurdles like a champion hurdler. If one of these puts it together on the day, and they're both jumping Honeysuckle and either Sharjah, St. Roy, Abracadabras, they're all faster over the last furlong. They're speed horses. That's what the champion hurdle horse is. She's not champion hurdle horse.
But this is if they turn up. This is if they do that. If they do this, but they might be.
I'm like Tom on this. I'm not taking 5-4 on a horse that to me just doesn't jump fast enough to win over 2 miles.
But she does. She's had to win in this last year. You can't say she can't win over 2 miles. She's had to win the grade 1 over 2 miles.
Standard race last year.
It's not that she can't. It's not that she can't.
Unless what does she do when she hits the front? She idles like nobody's business. She never wins by half the track. She always wins doing enough. She got back up last year after more or less stopping after hitting the last. She just corkscrewed going over it. I think she was still a green last year. Her first 2 or 3 races until she hit Cheltenham. That's when it all came together. Her jumping sometimes is skewed, but when she's asked for one, she comes up. I think we're making a lot out of this. She'll go from the front. She'll burn them off. She'll win by 4 or 5 lengths.
I'll be cheering her on. It's just a price thing for me.
We're
looking for a bet. It's a price.
Dave, you said it's hard to give a good mare £7. She's not even a good mare. She's a top class mare, and none of these are.
I agree.
Unbelievable horses.
Just in the context of the way this race is going to go, like I do think she'll go from the front, and I do think she'll try and make it a strong gallop because she's a 2 mile 4 horse. She's going to want to stay that last couple of furlongs, and I honestly think she's going to set it up for one of the closers. Whatever you say about St. Raw, if he shows that burst of speed like he did at Cheltenham last year, and he's beside her coming over last, he'll win. Sharjah does it as well. Like Sharjah throws in the wobbler every now and again, but he is a proper grade 1 2 miler on his day. And Abracadabras is nuts and could do anything.
But we're comparing what you said there, St. Waugh, to what he done in a county hurdle. Not in a grade 1. He hasn't done it in a grade 1 yet. Honeysuckle has been there, done that, beat the best. She is the best. She's the best mare out there. If this was a 2.5 mile grade 1 gelding, I guarantee you now we won't be having this conversation.
She's not the best filly out there.
Who's the best filly out there?
Epiton's a champion hurdler. She's the best at the moment.
Ooh.
How can you say a horse that's been beaten is the best hurdler when you have Honeysuckle who's unbeaten? That's just bullshit. Like,
do you think Honeysuckle will beat Epiton over 2 miles?
We're not talking about best. She's the best. Would you? Yes, I would.
Politicians answer
Yes,
that
I would.
was.
Yes, I would. And
Well, you know what?
do you think? No, hold on now.
If she wins the
Do you think?
weekend, you'll see it.
Do you think Epitante will be Honeysuckle over 2 mile 4?
Yes.
Well, you are delusional. You are delusional.
I think she's too fast and she's way better hurdler. You know
Sorry,
what? If Honeysuckle wins on Saturday, you'll see it because she'll go to the champion hurdle and she'll be
She won't.
better at the gate.
She won't go champion hurdle.
But they're after saying they're going to go if she wins. Like
they said that last year as well.
Are they?
Henry the Bromhead never ever says, "Oh, we're going here for definite." He'll say, we'll see how we get on. We'll make a plan closer to the time." He never comes out and says we're going to this race, unless it's a 2 mile chase that's winning over 2 miles the whole time. He's not going to come out and say it, especially when it's a mare where they have loads of options.
Anyway, what are we tipping for the weekend?
Honeysuckle wins.
I'm paying Sandown the prices.
Yeah, same.
But this one is going to take as long, I'd say. The next one. We're going on to the Grade 1 Irish Spring Juvenile Hurdle over. We have Calixios 5-2, French Seal 3-1, Umdor 5s, Bustleton 16s, Hador at 16s, Saint Sam at 20s, and 33-1. Bigger the rest. Dave, French Seal. Are we taking the performance literally on what he done the other at Leopardstown, or are we looking past Calixios too much, who is literally bolted up 20 both times 33 lengths aggregate, or is Umdor the dark horse out of a lot of them?
See, I don't know, because French Seal wasn't supposed to be running until Cheltenham. That's what Willie said that around Christmas. I think it could have been at Navan. He's interviewed anyway. They asked him about buying him, and he said we wasn't going to run him till Cheltenham. So, but now his price is contracting, so it looks like he is running. I find it very hard to split all three. If I had to choose and I knew he was running, I'd pick French Seal, but either of the three could win. I think Umdor is very good as well, and Calixios is, in my opinion, the better of the Gordon Elliott juveniles. I think he's better than Zaniher.
I'd agree with that, really. Tom, you're a fan of Calixios. 5-2. If he's as good as we think he is, it's not a bad price, really.
Yeah, it's short enough. I'm a fan of him. He had a massive reputation coming over from France, and he's done nothing to dampen that so far. He looks a really nice horse. I put him up on the anti-post selections for the Triumph. I've backed him myself for that race, and nothing to put me off so far. French Seal was incredibly impressive at Leopardstown at Christmas. French 15, his sire, has had a very good start of his jumpers, and I've heard it from one or two people in the last week or so that French Seal is apparently a brilliant model of a horse. And he made a fair price at the sales, and apparently that's why he's a very good looking lad, and very correct apparently. He absolutely destroyed them, and when you're winning an 18 runner Leopardstown maiden hurdle by 22 lengths, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what's in behind. I know Coulter came out and won the other day, but when you're beating them that easily, even if they're 110 horse, like rated 110, you're hammering them by that much that you're just in a different parish. Umdor is another one. He was going to bolt up the last day when he unfortunately tipped up at the last. It's very difficult, really, because we just don't know a lot about all three of them.
You don't know how much improvement is to come from any of them.
Like one of them could turn out to be much better than the others, or they could all turn out to be very good and or not much of a muchness, but as good as each other. The one thing I would put up is the Gordon Elliott stable form hasn't been firing. Didn't fire at Christmas. Hasn't really fired in January. 4 runs out of his last 4 winners out of his last 38 runners for 11% strike rate. Has had a good few placed horses, so they're not running terribly. But I think even Gordon would say himself he'd expect at least double that as a strike rate. So that's maybe a slight question mark. But in saying that, it's tough. It's tough to know what's going to run. And is Willie going to run French Seal and Humidor? I doubt it. If he did, and I was getting 9-4 about French Seal, and it was 5-4 Calixios, I'd probably take the 9-4 French Seal. But in that, I wouldn't be in a huge rush to have a bet in the race. But if French Seal didn't run, I would be backing Calixios for the triumph before the race.
I spent a bit of time on this now this morning, and I was back and forth between the three of them. Like, Calixios is won by 33 lengths when you add up his 2 wins. French Seal was visually probably one of the best juvenile hurdle, even if it's a maiden hurdle, most impressive winner we've seen in a long time. Then you've Humidor, who just looks class when he's running. He stands out. He looks like there's any amount of improvement in him. Look, yes, he tipped up last time. He was going to bolt up. There's no two ways about it. Sometimes when a horse does make a mistake that makes him fall, they learn a lot from it. He's either going to go one way for it. He's going to be fairly careful as hurdles next, or he's going to be, right, I've learned a lot. He knows how to sort his feet out. I really like Humidor. There's not much you can take on his form, but he's doing it well. The race he won in France, he beat a horse called Good Ball, who's now trained by Paul Nichols, and he hacked up on his debut as well. So there's substance to his form in France. Look, you could go back and forth between the three of them all day and come up with why this one would win, why that one would win. It does really come down to it on the price, really. If these three turned up with the prices on screen there, I put up Humidor for the triumph. If he turns up, if he goes any shorter than 3-1, I'd probably just sit back and watch it. But if he turns up and he's 4-1 to 5-1, yeah, I'd back him because I think there's a lot to come from him. But that's not to say any of the top three could win it. And there's not to say that something from behind could sprout wings all of a sudden. And we're dealing with 4-year-olds at the end of the day. We don't know what's going to come, what's not going to come on. But on the top three alone, the top three form, they look head and shoulders above the rest of them. I'd like to see French Seal back up the maiden hurdle win. If he backs up that in the way and the manner that he won, we're dealing with something special.
There's no reason why he shouldn't as well.
Like, I'm one for all, believe what you see, and you have to believe what you see in there. He absolutely battered the field. And he stood out a mile turning in for the home. Like, as it's the second one has won since during the week. So look, the substance to it.
Thomas right. Like, whatever about the substance to the form, you're winning a maiden hurdle like that, like 22 lengths basically on the bridle, and he battered him. It don't really matter what's in behind you. Like.
No, I always say that, but it doesn't matter what you beat.
He won by so far. It don't matter how crap the horses are behind him. But yeah, he needs to step up into the company he is in now and reproduce it.
Like, that's what I always say. It doesn't matter what they beat, it's how they beat him. And he beat him on the bridle. Dennis O'Regan's arse up in the air, not even moving on him. Come the day we could be looking at, Jesus, that 3-1 was tasty. Wasn't it during the week when he's at the bolting up? Look, he's a strange horse to fathom. His furthest he ran on the flat was over a mile. And then he steps up to 2 miles, and found no end of improvement. Like, there's people on Twitter, don't believe what you're seeing. Was it Emily Holden was his trainer? Yeah. Emery Holden. She'll have him revved up to sell him. He's going to be tuned up to the last. Who's to say it is? This is all speculation. People talking shite, probably.
I'm sure he was revved up, but he won by 22 lengths. The horse came out. The horse that was beat the other day. The horse that won the other day came out and ran to a mark of 118, I think, a racing post rating. So, if that horse is a 115 to a 120 horse, and he beat it by 22 lengths on the bridle, then who cares if it was revved up? You know, I mean, it's hammered them. So
And then we have the situation of what else could be there when they go for him. There could be a lot more there, like, so we don't know what the ceiling of his ability as well. But it's a hard one to fathom. Like, it'll probably come today. I probably won't even back at it, but I really like Youngdor. But French Seal looks something out of this world.
His sire had a fair bit of speed to him. He was second in the Guineas to Camelot, so there should be a bit of speed there now, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know who to back in it, or if I will back it. But look, it's going to be an interesting race. It'll definitely shake up the market for Cheltenham anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on. We're on the Sunday now, aren't we? 2:10, yeah, Sunday. Chanel Pharma Novice Hurdle 2 mile. We the Supreme Novice favourites appreciated in at 8 to 11. Ballyadam 6s. Blue Lord at 10. Master McShee 12s. Kescomrick the 14s and 16th to 1 bigger. The rest is Davis just appreciate comes up, beats them all again, and off he goes to Cheltenham. Shorter price favours for the Supreme.
I'm going to back Master McShea each way if he turns up. Otherwise, I will just watch the race, I'd say. Something tells me still that he won't win the Supreme as well. I can just see something at a mad price beating him. And I don't know, it's the memories of last year in the bumper. He can't be beaten. Sure thing. And then that lunatic Fernie Hollow came on the outside and nabbed him.
I was thinking of that as well.
And
but then
all winter he was he's an Albert Bartlett horse. He needs further. I honestly think something will beat him for speed in the Supreme.
What do you think, Tom? Oh, go on.
As well as that, Ballyadam clearly wasn't Ballyadam the last day, so we should get a more concrete picture of where he is, as long as Elliott's horses are firing the weekend. But like, he definitely didn't run his race. I don't think he's good enough to win the Supreme anymore or the Ballymore, but he should have definitely been closer. So I think this race will tell a lot more than the race of Christmas, but I just think it's far too short for the Supreme.
What do you think, Tom? You going Ballyadam again, or is someone like Blue Lord, unknown, drop back and trip, going to put it up to him?
No, well, I suppose first of all, I am praying that Kescon Risk wins because I've got.
I wonder why.
The guy's half sister there looking at me, whose profile would then improve if Kescon Risk went and won a bloody Grade 1. He's already Grade 1 place, so I will be roaring for Kescon Risk without any financial involvement on him. Look, I think appreciate it. I was there last year when he won the bumper and he absolutely bolted up. Like, that looked a really, really high-class bumper last year. He got punted off the boards for it and he absolutely bolted up. Unlike Dave, I actually think he's got a bit of speed. I actually think he's shown that a few times. I think he showed it that day. He showed it actually day he beat Master McShee. He quickened past him very, very well. We weren't to know it at the time, but that's obviously turned out to be pretty good form. And then he's shown it again at Leopardstown over 2 miles when he's just quickened away. I think he's a very, very, very good horse. He got beat by Fernie Hollow coming from the back last year in the bumper, and that was it. He was good second other than that. Look, to be honest, I think he's a really, really good horse. I'm a massive fan of him, and I think he'll take all the beating. Ballyadam, yeah, just didn't look right, did he? Like a few of Gordon's at Christmas, just didn't look right. It's the comeback trail with him, really. I wouldn't be rushing in to back him. Blue Lord, well, if ever a horse looked like it wanted to come back down to 2 miles and a strongly run 2 miles, it was him. How he finished second, I still don't know, behind Bob Ollinger at Date. He pulled Paul Hownend's arms out for a long, long, long way. And it'll be interesting to see him back down to 2 miles. I assume they think Appreciate It is a fair bit better, but it'd be interesting to see. And joking aside, Kescon Risk is a horse I really liked after his bumper win, but more so his maiden hurdle win at Fairyhouse. He just looks a big green baby. I think it'd be better over a fence almost. That was only his third run of his life last time out in the Grade 1, and I could see him being placed again. So,
the way I'm seeing it, we appreciate it. If we go back to his bumper run at Cheltenham, and we think of at the start of the season, the talking horse was Fernie Hollow's the bumper horse. This thing is our bumper horse. He's as fast as anything. He's going to win the champion bumper. Then he thrown in 2 or 3 stink runs. I think it was just an unbelievable ride out of Paul Town that absolutely just robbed him coming up the hill. To me, I think Appreciate It is a class apart from the rest of these. He has everything. He's a big stamp of a horse. He looks very well. I think he's a lot of pace. He quickened up well to win the Grade 1 at Christmas time. He left Master McShee in his wake at Cork, I think it was. I think he has everything to win the Supreme come Cheltenham. There's nothing really from the rest of the Irish side or the English side that's there to put it up to him. I think he sets his own pace. He'll quicken on. I just think it's as easy as he wins. I know it's not as easy as that, but I think he's just a class apart of a lot of horses over 2 miles this season. It's not a great bunch at all. It's not a vintage bunch whatsoever. Ballyadam in this, regards to this, I just don't like the horse. I don't know what it is. I can't take to him whatsoever. The form of his win with N'Golo and Castmate behind it, it's not really as much for muchness. Yeah, Gordon Elliott's horses were out of form, really. I don't know. It's just me personally. I don't like the horse. Blue Lord, as Tom said, was ever there was a horse crying to be trapped down and trip when he second behind Bob Allinger for pulling for 2 mile 2 of a race as him. But look, when it comes down to, I think Appreciate wins and wins it well, which I think Kescon Risk will improve again. He's very lightly raced.
Go on, Andrew.
he's a good horse, but as Tom said, I think he'll come on again for the fence. But I think Appreciate wins this and wins it well and shortens again for the Supreme. So what I'm going to do is literally do the Appreciate win on Saturday and wins the Supreme Novice.
Dave, I got a question for you.
Go.
Do you think Andrew looked at the race card when he was typing out the graphics for this race?
What? What did
No.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Kelslon Rish. It's not Kescon Risk, it's Kellon Risk.
Well, it's all the same.
Kellon Risk. KESLON RISH.
Do you know what? I copy and paste them off the line under the racing post. That's all I do. I don't write them. I just copy and paste it.
Someone's getting sacked.
Someone's getting sacked in the racing post.
They haven't gone that bad. That's on throw.
Bar the little rant you had on Twitter about the racing post. Clickbait.
Oh, it's a joke. They've gone to a joke. Do you see they put up like 5 trainers or 4 trainers to follow over the next few
Gordon
weeks?
Elliott, Paul Nichols, Willie Mullins.
Literally. It's like, lads, how do you write?
Did you stay up all night to think of that? Jesus Christ almighty.
So bad. And then they had another one today, which was like 5 horses that could move the market for Cheltenham. And it was like every favourite at the Dublin Racing Festival.
Monkfish, Appreciate It. Back
The thing in the bumper. Here it is. Here's the article. Galliard de Mesnil, Honeysuckle, Calixios, Delta Work, which was the most random one I ever saw, and then Brandy Love in the bumper. It's like, yeah, not for me, guys. But anyway.
Right, moving on.
Irascible, is a horse there. I'm just going to throw in. Has got a handicap mark because it won its first race and is rated 138. that to me looks interesting. If that was to go and turn up somewhere at Cheltenham, I reckon keep an eye on Irascible.
She was second or third behind Appreciate last time.
Second last time out,
Second
yeah.
last time.
That looks a lenient enough handicap mark for me.
Skip Saturday, Sunday, and straight to Cheltenham.
No idea. I'd say you could even finish fourth on Sunday and you still wouldn't get changed too much by the look of that. So, yeah, keep an eye out for him down for the handicap route.
Right, 310, 2 mile 5, Flow Glass, Novice Chase, Grade 1. Monkfish is in at 8 to 11. We've latest exhibition 3 to 1. Andy Dufresne 14s. Asterian, just wow, Phalange 14s. Janadal 16s and 20 to 1. Bigger the rest. Dave, you going latest exhibition again, or are you taking a chance with the big grey mad bastard?
I just think you need to stay out of his way. I'm after christening him Asteroid Kaboom because you just don't know what he's going to do anymore. He's talented enough to win any race, I think, but he probably will eat a fence somewhere along the way. But I'd stay out of his way because I'm sure he'll be leading. There's nothing else that he does, so it should come down to Monkfish in latest exhibition. You'd be hoping latest exhibition has a little bit more speed and can win this one, and then the big showdown in the RSA, but it's very hard to call.
Do you think latest exhibition has more speed than Monkfish?
Yeah, he does.
I think latest exhibition needs more than 3 miles. I think Monkfish's win with Punchestown over 2.5 miles. He done in a hack canter.
Latest exhibition won, like, bet Andy Dufresne over 2 mile 4. He also won this last year, and he won it for speed as well. I don't know. Monkfish, they're two unbelievable horses. Like, you think I've something against Monkfish? I don't. I just like latest exhibition more. So you obviously have an affinity towards a horse. But Monkfish is just so class. Like these are the two horses I want to see Envoy Allen go against. These two
proper horses.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I rarely sit in the fence, and if I had to choose one, I'd go with my heart and latest exhibition. But it wouldn't surprise me if Monkfish wins again. He's class.
Tom, same feeling.
This is the race. I've got selections written down and notes for every race, and this is a race that I haven't. This is the only race I haven't got a selection written down for, because I could literally make a case for I think about 6 of them. If they all turn up, it'll be some race. I don't think they will all turn up. Asterian might actually turn up here because he needs to run again, obviously. He's just an idiot. Like, you're just gonna have to leave him alone. It's the 2 times he's been asked for a jump and he's put down and he's fallen. Like, it's just
go on, Asteroid.
He's tick. God love him.
He just doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't know what to do with his legs when he's asked to do something with them. And
Dave looks a big happy face when you're talking about him, Dave.
They were showing replays of Cheltenham last year on Racing UK last night, and I watched the Supreme, and he just caused absolute bedlam in the race. He went bonkers.
I seen a thing on Twitter, TikTok, where they have this thing go, wee, wee. Yeah. Someone done the Supreme Novice Hurdle and all his jumps out to the left. I nearly died.
Andy Dufresne as a horse I've always liked as well. 2.5 miles is well, it's actually a bit further. It's 2 mile 5.5. It'd be interesting to see him over that trip. And the other one I'd give a shout out to there is Fils du Daris. Joseph O'Brien's horse, gave Envoy Allen a little bit of a scare before Envoy changed the gears. Before that, he'd beaten Brayside, who's not a bad horse either. Could be one to fill a place. Not saying he's good enough to beat the first 2. Although it is interesting they're coming back down and trip and how that'll affect the 2 of them. I agree with Dave that latest exhibition might have the little bit more toe for Monkfish, but it's just not a race I'd like to call at all, to be honest. And then the prices put me off even more. 4 to 6, 11 to 4. Maybe Fios Dudari's 12-1, maybe the bet each way, but yeah, it's not a race I'm mad to have a bet.
I call if your Monkfish wins.
So I thought you'd say that, Simone.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought he'd say that myself.
I genuinely think we're looking at 2022 Gold Cup winner. I think he's that good. He saved so much for himself. Like he let latest exhibition get up to him coming into Leopardstown, and he just spat him out. He was doing nothing in front. Paul Townend said he was just idling when he hit the front. He wasn't doing anything, and he was still going away. What he done last year in the Albert Barrett was getting ahead and then coming up again. He was a big baby back then. Even when we had Patrick on, he said in his bumper days he wouldn't go through a gap. He was too shy. He was too scared, or whatever it was. I think he's different class, and I hope Monkfish comes second or third, because then Paul Nolan might say, "Okay, we're not going to go with Monkfish again. Let's go to the National Hunt Chase," and he'll win that. I don't think I might be missing something here. I think Monkfish is faster than the latest exhibition. You
want latest exhibition to go for the National Hunt Chase, and you think he'll win? Does that mean you think he'll beat Royal Pagaille?
No, because Royal Pagaille is going to run the Gold Cup.
Stop it now. Stop it.
Before you say Anne, I'm not saying Royal Pagaille will win the Gold Cup. I'm saying that's where I think he'll run. Because if you have him and he's in the form of his life and he's getting these marks and he's beating horses by this length and he's that much experience over fences, and you've Monkfish for next year, why not have a crack at it this year? Have a crack at the Gold Cup, have a crack at the National Hunt Chase.
Because he'd be about 12, 14-1 for a Gold Cup and about 6-4, 5-4 for a National Hunt Chase. That's
Rich Ritchie owns him. He wouldn't care. He wanted to win the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Put down the pen before you injure yourself.
Oh.
What's that?
Put down the pen before you injure yourself.
Hey, this is our lovely Pimlico pens, which you get when you own a Pimlico horse. Yeah.
You do.
Tom, you know the way I love grey horses?
Yes.
Unless you haven't realised, Andrew has a certain thing for chestnut horses, especially big chestnut horses. That's exactly what Monkfish has. If we were ever watching racing, you know, like after even a few points, like after watching Cheltenham and the rag racing is on at Wolverhampton or something, like if you don't have anything to back, Andrew's eyes will just be drawn to the chestnut horse. We should back him number 5.
This is news to me.
That's literally as soon as he saw Monkfish the first day. Jeez, he's a lovely horse, isn't he?
We haven't got any chestnut horses or grey horses, so maybe I'll have to put those on the shopping list for the next one. So
you won't even need people to buy them. Yourself and Dave be in straight away. All the shares, I want them.
Yeah.
Going back to if the two of them turn up, it's going to be an unbelievable race. The two of the best 3-mile novices we've seen in a long time. Even though this is over 2:05.5.
Running over 2.5. Yeah, it should be interesting.
I think Monkfish will have plenty of speed from him. He showed us in his beginner chase at Punchestown. He done it in a hack canter. Andy Dufresne, I've always liked. His day will come at some stage, but I don't think it'll be on Sunday. Steering for Lange, I just can't wait to see him try jump into the woods or something. It'll just be wee, boom. You could literally sit a conditioning jockey on top of him that's terrified of their life because they won't do anything on him and just leave him do what he wants instead of going for strides and doing all this jazz. It's going the wrong way around. It's going to end in tears.
I'd be absolutely shocked if we don't see some sort of lunacy from one of those mad horses this weekend, because there's loads of them running.
I'd be disappointed now if Asterion Flan doesn't do something mental.
Wait till you see Felix Deji think he's in a 6 furlong sprint again. I will be crying with the laughing.
You have to leave and just buck out and off you go.
Oh, there's no control in that.
Or Mum's Tip will jump out the stalls and go backwards or something like that.
They'll have to load her in backwards to think she's going backwards.
Oh, stop.
On this, I think Monkfish wins. Look, he won't win by much. He never really does. But latest exhibition, I think he'll be second. And if Andy Dufresne turns up, look, he won't be this price if he turns up. I'd back him each way. But I just can't wait to see what his steering for launch does. Sunday's going to be fun. Right, one that's going to be more of a few arguments. The Irish Gold Cup. Now, Menena Indo. I'm doing a Dave again. Menena Indo. Indo.
I thought you said melon then, and then it carried on into Indo.
Indo. Oh, we're so making a song of that. Menena Indo is not 5-2 anymore. He's into 6-4. Ken Boy 7-2. Mellon is 9-4. Delta Work 5s. And the Storyteller 16s. Tom, Menena Indo. Will he win?
Yeah, sticking with him. He's one of my anti-post selections for the Gold Cup. Got most of the field covered now, as everyone keeps reminding me. Yeah, I'm sticking with him. Like, it's just a stupid thing he did last day. It was in falling. He's a horse I never expected him to do something like that. So very, very happy to forgive him that. And I think he's got the beating of these. Dave's going to tip. Dave's going to tip up a horse that hates winning, and just never wins. The last horse that Mellon beat was Gallant John Joe.
Grand servant of a horse.
And the horse that he beat before that was Cockinmuns. Yeah, exactly.
Say it again. What? I missed it.
Cockinmuns.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah. Nah.
Sounds X-rated stuff, Tom.
Running blue colours. That's not how you say it, but anyway.
Wow.
Coquin-moi.
Coquin-moi. Yeah, nice one.
Not cock and moms. No.
No.
That's X-rated stuff you're talking about, Tom. That's 90 Day Fiancé again.
X-rated. The director's cut.
I'd say there is some of that going on 90 Day Fiancé. There's a woman on 90 Day Fiancé, right? She's like 52. The fiance lives in Costa Rica or Belize, and he's like, say he's 22 or something ridiculous now. And I've just left it to come in and do this, as she's about to tell him that she got in a row with him one night because he texted another woman. So what did she do? She slept with his cousin. So she's just about to tell him. So I can't wait to go back in and find out what happens now. Mental shit.
And you watch it.
I think you feel so much better about your own life. Like, it's brilliant.
Hillbilly American stuff, it sounds like. I slept with my cousin.
Oh, you should see it. It's mental. Another lad lives on his family farm. He's 27. His girlfriend his fiance from Russia has just moved over. She's not allowed to stay in the same room as him. And they've just turned around and said they're going to move out. And his parents have had a full-on breakdown. He's 27. And he turned around and he was like, well, maybe she could stay in my room. And the mother's like, okay, maybe she can. 27 years of age. Like.
Well, that's 2 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back.
It's becoming apparent more and more over the weeks as to why you're drunk all the time doing these videos.
That television would drive you to absolute.
Oh, it's crazy. It's great, though. It's crazy. But, yeah, look, I can't have Mellon. I'm all over Menela Indo in this. I think he'll beat Ken Boy as well.
Even at 6-4, Tom. You're a price, man. 6-4 entice you.
I think you can get 7-4, can't you? You can get 7-4 in a couple of places. Yeah, I think I'd back him at 7-4.
I like that. When Tom backs something that short, he's very, very confident.
Yeah, I think he'll win, lads. I think he's better than these. If you take out that fall, which I know it's hard to do, but that was only one run, and it's very unlike him. He should beat these.
Dave, you going with the watermelon?
Yeah, surprisingly enough, Tom, Andrew likes Mellon as well, who is also Chestnut. Andrew always talks up Mellon. He is nothing but good time for Mellon, even though he never wins.
I talked up Mellon, step him up to 3 miles.
Yeah, but you like Mellon. You've liked him throughout the years, even though he never won anything, really.
He's a lovely looking horse, isn't he?
I don't know. It's hard to say he's ungenuine because he runs good races in the top level all the time. I don't need the ground at Sue Kemboy, so I'll side with Mellon. Menela Indo is too short.
We're changing horses' names every year on this podcast. Aplutom, Melelelelindo. And what's the other one? Menelelezil, or whatever the hell his name is. Album photos, brother.
Galliard de Mesnil.
Galliard de Mesnil. See, you can't say it.
He's also not album photos, brother. You just
I know.
decided he is.
I just decided he is. Look, looking at this, where's my notes? There they are. Manena Indo is what 6-4.
7-4.
Oh, she's all right, boy.
We're not
7-4.
We're not sponsored by Betfair or Unibet or Paddy Power or Boyle Sports. They're all 6-4. Betfred. Let's shout them out. Betfred, Sport Nation, 10bet. Never bet with any of those, apart from Betfred. Bet Victor are 7-4. They won't take a bet from me. Their banning of me just says we will not accept bets from you online. I'm like, oh, fantastic. So that's my account closed then, in other words.
So I'm fucked, in other words.
Yeah.
New bookmaker. You can see Tom in 10 years' time buying accounts of college students.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
So that waitress who had a lucky 15 off or something and won like a load of money and it went to court. They were like, where did you get the resources to put that bet on? She's like, I had them. I bet all the time.
Tips.
It's going to be, joking aside, lads, that thing of of judging your resources to bet over in the UK and monitoring them, that's going to be a disaster.
That's madness.
That is going to be a disaster. So.
That's encroaching on people's privacy, really.
They don't want us to have fun anymore, sir.
But they don't stand in an off license and say, how many drinks have you had this week? Should you buy this 6th can? You know, so I don't know. I think there needs to be some kind of regulation in it. And if people lose X amount in a short period of time, then there's a body that looks into it alongside the bookmakers. Because like we do want to protect people, but then, you know, if I want to go and have a bet,
you're not telling me I can't.
Yeah, like it's gonna be tough for people to turn around and say, you know, oh, we need all of this evidence from you that you have the resources and the means before you can have that 50 quid on a horse.
Imagine someone coming up like Paddy Power going, oh yeah, show me your bank account before you can have a bet. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's a disaster for racing. I do think we could do more to help problem gamblers and stuff. But the one size fits all job is not the answer.
It's not going to work. I doubt it'll last very long. It's people giving out. When did it came in last week? Did it?
No, it hasn't come in yet. They're still just talking about it.
I thought I seen something about it coming in. I'd be surprised if it gets off the ground. Right, getting back to this. Manelelelindo, I think he's 7-4 is a bit skimpy. I agree with Dave. I'm going to back up what I was saying through all lockdown. I think he's crying out for 3 miles. He's shown he stays 3 miles. I think he got a good ride off Patrick last time, but I think they learned a lot from him, as in he was gaining lengths at fences, and then Patrick was trying to conserve him, as in he didn't know he's going to see out the trip properly. He obviously sees it out, especially the way he raced. I think if they let him just bowl along at his own stride on a loose rein, even pop away, he could be very hard to peg back. Like he's a multiple Cheltenham Festival runner-up. He's been placed twice in the Champion Hurdle. He was second again in the Ryanair. He's a top-class horse. There's no two ways about it. Yes, he's a load of twos next to his name, and as Tom said, the last horse he beat was an Oliver McKiernan horse, if I'm not mistaken. 92 looks all right to me. He reminds me of, like, he's not an exciting John, but he's like a horse that's been finished in place behind very good horses, crying out for a step up the trip, and then it suddenly clicks. I think they've learned.
A horse deserved to win a Grade 1. It's that horse.
I'm going back, and then whether he'll go on now to run at Cheltenham at the Gold Cup is another thing. I think Sunday could be his day. I think it's all there for him to win. A small field, he could dominate from the front, let him off. If he stays properly when they just let him bowl along, so be it. Not drop back to the Ryanair. they've nothing to lose really.
Come on, Mel.
On the melon, big lovely looking chestnut.
Come on, Tom. Get on the bandwagon.
No, I'm not on the melon bandwagon, lads. It's not happening.
You can only have 3 for the Gold Cup, Dave. Can't have any more than that.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah,
Happy with my 3 for the Gold Cup, thanks.
I wouldn't be if I was you.
50 to 1, 10 to 1, and 10 to 1. I'm happy with those prices.
You may as well throw out the 50 to 1.
Yeah,
Fourth,
I'd say that's true.
Fourth, 7th pulled up.
Imagine he placed, lads. Imagine.
Who, Percy?
Percy, yeah. I won't happen.
I'd be surprised if he turns up. Right, now that is, well, we come back to the handicaps at the end of when we're finished with Sandown. So we're going to move on to Sandown now. When I was doing this, the prices for the Cotswold Chase weren't up yet, so I'm just going to get them in front of me. 2 seconds, bear with me. Saturday. Sandown. This took me by surprise today. That was all changed and all done. No price again. Tom, do you price in front of you?
For what race?
Cotswold.
Hang on. I should be able to find them. Cotswold Chase. Bristol de Mai. I'll see if I can take your job again, Andrew. Bristol de Mai. 9 to 4
already.
No, it's just loads of different prices, and then you're trying to pick out the best one, and then you look at the best one, and it's with Sport Nation. You know, it's pointless reading now. So, Bristol de Mai is, and then he's not with those off. For feck's sake,
Jesus Christ! When you say a price, man,
I've got the prices. I got the prices. Bristol de Mai 2 to 1, Santini 5 to 2, Native River 9 to 2, San Calvados 5 to 1. Yala Enki 7 to 1, Lakeview Lad 16 to 1.
Go on, you want my job? You want my job? Keep going. Go on.
And Dave, who do you think is going to win this one?
Oh, look, he's English again.
I was going to go for a South African accent and call him Andy. I just cannot do a South African accent.
Dave
I'm not too bad at some of them. I just can't do the South African one.
Dave can do it, but he's not good under pressure when he's asked for it.
Andy.
You just put Andy in the South African flag in the WhatsApp group, and he knows what you're on about. It's fine.
St. Calvados. I picked him last week. I'm sticking with him.
Well, that was short and sweet.
There's no reason to be. That's it.
He ain't going to go up that hill. St. Calvados, not a chance.
You know what, Tom? We can still have that match bet if you want.
Ooh.
You lost 2 of them last week.
Jab.
Yeah, didn't go too well for me last week. It's a terrible match bet, but yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take
it's terrible, but go on.
I'll take Lakeview Lad. This is a.
You're taking Lakeview Lad.
Yeah, that's what he had last week, Sean. Yeah.
Congratulations, Dave. You just won.
No, I took Lakeview Lad last week based on his good run at Cheltenham and whatnot, but this is a yucky race, lads. A really, really yucky race. Bristol de Mai. Yeah, I don't know. The Native River, Colin Tizard's horses are in shocking form. Santini hates winning. St. Calvados won't get home. Yana Enki's not good enough. Lakeview Lad probably isn't good enough, but sure, what the hell at this stage? I don't know, Bristol de Mai probably, but then are you ever going to back Bristol de Mai at 2 to 1? No, I wouldn't anyway. So, yeah, look, no bet race. I'll enjoy Lakeview Lad chinning St. Calvados up the running somewhere.
That was inspired stuff right there. It is. It's not a great race.
It's the Dublin Racing Festival. We've got to talk about this.
Oh, look, I got hounded on Twitter to talk about a few of the races of Sandown, so I said, "Go on."
But like, stick any of them into the
Irish Gold Cup.
I won't back any of them anyway. No.
Look, you have Bristol de Mai, who's Bristol de Mai. Look, he loves the ground is probably going to be heavy. It's going to be right up his street. He's probably the worthy favourite. Lakeview Lad, who won a 3-mile bumper. Native River, Colin Tiz, he couldn't back any Colin Tiz's horses with counterfeit money. There's, I don't know what the hell is in the stable, but none of them are running anywhere near they should be. Santini just hates life. Not even hates win, just hates life. Last time he ran a Sandown, he scraped up on the line against bloody, I can't even remember his name. Some yak. He just hates winning. St. Cavalos, he's not going to stay. Yala Enki will set it up for bloody Bristol Lamoy. Bristol Lamoy wins. Take it all into consideration. He's away from Haydock where he's all his best form. He's won around Sandown before. What was he, 94?
Who?
Bristol.
Bristol Lamoy.
2-1.
2-1. I will take 2-1. Yeah, I'll take 2-1 against them. Bristol Lamoy wins it for me. It's like Lakeview lad is Native River is nearly as old as me. Santini just Nico Stonehans isn't on him though. Aidan Coleman's on him. Still not going to make a difference.
Some bounce off the ground today again.
Did he?
Yeah.
Overrated. Right. Next is where will we go? Scilly Oils Chase. No prices again, but I'll go through the field. Allard, Lieutenant Rocco, Mazir, Dezobo, Painted Dreams, Shamblu, Sporting John, Up the Straight, Hitman, Dom the Compion is the last one. That's strange. Nico's on Don the Compion, but he's not booked up on Santini. Owners are copping on. Shamblu is favourite as far as I know, with Hitman second favourite. This surely suits Shamblu is jumping down the back street down the railway fences. Dave, Shamblu for the win.
Mezir de Zobo, Aaron King's horse.
Yeah.
Loves soft, heavy ground. Isn't going to Cheltenham, so the grade 1 they're going for is this one. He said it after the last day. I think he's a good horse. He's come back probably better than ever over fences. And he bet a good horse in Protector at the last day, so he'd be the one for me.
Who are you going for, Tom?
Exactly the same as Dave, yeah. Basir Dezobo. His Gold Cup this, really, and I think he'll win.
I was between him and Shamblu, but I landed on Shamblu. He's proved a revelation over fences this season. He won the grade 1 as a quarter-star chase at Kempton last time, beating the big breakaway. Drop down the trip is going to do him no harm whatsoever. He'd be out in front, bowl away. His jumping is so good. Dan Skelton's horses are flying. I think he's going to be hard to beat, but I think that's the top 2 either way. Mizir de Zobo is, as Dave said, at to come back better than ever. He beat Protector at last time, who was, according to the Skeltons, they were shocked he got beat. But I'd say they think Shamblu is a better horse than him. So I think he's 5-2 in the place. I'd take a bit of that. I think the fences down the back straight will sort them all out and he'll be the one grinding them into the submission. The fact that he stays further as well is a help, especially up the Sandown Hill. So he'd be one of my main bets now for the weekend, Shamblu. So that's him. Next we will go to where the hell is it? The Contenders Hurdle, if I can find it.
No hurdles.
No, all that's taken out. That's the end of that one then. That's it then, isn't it? Handicap.
I hope that's it.
Jeez, somebody wants to go watch this 90 Day Fiance, whatever the hell it's called. Handicap pick for the weekend before we go on our next best and naps. Dave, anything in the handicaps at Leopardstown or Sandown at Cotswold?
There was 1 or 2. Just give me 2 seconds here. I get the cards up. There's loads of racing on, but I tried to just stick with Leopardstown. It's the main ones. The 2:45 Leopardstown on Saturday. The Madison Handicap Chase. I like Emily Moon in it for Jesse Harrington's horse, the mare. In the 350 Esky Lane, Gordon Elliott's horse that was 5th in the bumper last year. And then on the Sunday in the 3 mile handicap hurdle, I like City Island to come back to form.
You love him.
They were my 3 handicap ones.
Tom?
Yeah, I had a couple. Just to say as well, the big breakaway is running at Wetherby as well. There's a few. There is a good few decent races. I'm also just having a bet on my nap here. So
Well, there you go. That's a good sign.
Ah, you are kidding me.
Price is gone. They're listening to us already.
No, it's worse. 4-1, right? And there was only one bookie that I thought I could get on with at 4-1. And it's Betway. Might as well just name them. Went to have a bet, not even that much money. And they limited me. The max I can get on is €1.25.
Nice.
Thank you, Betway, you gobshites.
And Liverpool are losing.
Really?
Huh? Oh, they're
And
not.
Liverpool are losing.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned that shit game last night either.
The 9-0, that one.
And do you know what? Made yesterday worse, right? So Callum supports Arsenal, so he put the Arsenal match on. It was on early, so they were on about how much of a bad run Wolves are on and a great run Arsenal are on. So I said, I'm gonna have to watch this now. I back Arsenal for a bit of crack. So back to Arsenal, they go 1-0 up. I'm like, yes, get in. So we have dinner. We go back in. It's like 1-1. Arsenal, David Luiz has been sent off, and then they get another man sent off. Absolute horror show, and they lose.
I done a horse and 6 teams, and Liverpool are the last team in those 6 teams. All the other 5 are after winning.
Yeah, mine the same. Man City are at the winning. Leicester winning. Brentford are 3-1 up. West Ham are 2-0 up.
That serves you right, really, Dave. To be honest, now I'm back in Liverpool.
You couldn't. It's virtually impossible to get one up. I was saying it to Andrew. It's even harder this year with no crowds, like and all that. Like Liverpool are at home, like.
But like,
yeah, they're the type of bets though. Like you do for a bit of crack, you expect to lose your money on them. Like if I'd have put another 3 horses in with that, I bet you could have got a lot more on. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to be. On Sunday at Leopardstown, Farclass is a horse I'm interested in. Coming back down in trip from 3 miles the last day, I think there's a nice race in him. The other one, keep an eye out for Brandy Love, the horse in the bumper. Looked an aeroplane the last day. Is only 11-8. I wouldn't be suggesting to back that in a bumper at that price, but she looked very, very good. In the 240 on Sunday, I can see Dave's angle with City Island. I do like a horse in this, though. Morosini is also entered in this. Surely to God they won't run here and they'll go straight to the Pretemps. But there's a horse here who's got 2 entries over the weekend. So keep an eye on where he runs. But he's called Kashari of Willie Mullins's. I was at Punchestown when he made his Irish debut in 2016 at the Punchestown Festival, and he won. And he's a horse I've followed since then. He's had an in and out career, plagued with injury. He won at Cork. He won a handicap hurdle at Cork really impressively at the start of January, and that was off an 875-day break. Paul Townend actually rode another one of Willie's runners in that race. So you'd have to think they believe he'll come on. He'll come on fitness-wise. He's up 9 pounds in the handicap to 144. He's also in the Steeple Chase on Sunday as well, where he's got a mark of 140. But look, wherever he goes, you know, I'd be very, very interested in him. He's a really, really good horse. So yeah, keep an eye out on Kashari. And then I'm not putting this one up, but I just thought you'd like this little link to your favorite horse, Envoy Allen. The horse who has finished closest to Envoy Allen in his career makes his comeback potentially in the 350 at Leopardstown on Saturday.
Blue Starry?
Blue Sari, yeah. Just want to see what handicap mark he's got now, because I remember thinking it's pretty lenient.
His left and right leg.
140. Yeah, 140 Blue Sari's got. You'd have to think he's well handicapped off 140. He won on his hurdle start then against the Boss's Oscar, and then the wheels just came off. He's on the retrieval mission here of 370 days off, but he's a horse of immense talent, you know. It'll be really, really interesting to see if he can come back to something like that bumper form where, you know, he beat Front View by 11 lengths. He absolutely bolted up at Gurren, I remember the first day, and then ran Envoy Allen to 3/4 of a length. In that bumper where you actually look, the first Envoy Allen won, Blue Sari was second, Time Hill was third, and Abracadabras was fourth. Like, that's a bloody good race, you know. So Blue Sari off 140 could be chucked in. Could be, yeah.
I've two. One for Leopardstown on Saturday, the 350, Sealed and Neige for Willie Mullins. Last season, he was kind of, again, a talking horse for the handicaps. He was sent off 6-1 second favourite behind St. Wafford, the county hurdle, and ran no sort of race. They couldn't explain what happened to him. But there's an engine there, and he's 10-12-1 a place. If he turns up, he could be very well handicapped still. And Sunday, the 410, Tracy's Enniscorthy. Oh, my mouth words aren't working today. Tracy's Enniscorthy. He won Handicap Chase last time out after making a unbelievably bad mistake at the last. Did well to get back up and win by a good few lengths. He likes it around here. He's won a handicap hurdle around there before, off around the same mark. Look, he looks chaser. He was bought to be a chaser. He probably has a lot more in him than the mark. He's rated lower than he is over hurdles. So Tracy Enniscorthy a 10-1, the 410 at Sunday would be one that I will have a little nibble at. That's it. That's me. Naps and next best is the last thing we're going to touch on. Dave, nap and next best.
My nap is Galliard de Mesnil. My next best is Mezir de Zobo at Sandown.
Tom?
My nap is Kashari, wherever he turns up. I'm a huge fan. And my next best is going to be Caribbean Boy at Sandown. That's who I was trying to get a bet on there. It's about 3-1 for a handicap chase, and yeah, I think he's better than that, to be honest.
My nap is Honeysuckle, and my next best is Melon. I think he's going to win. I'm nearly full sure he's going to win. And when he wins, I'm going to record this little snippet here with Tom going and just go mental.
Put it on Twitter.
You're actually going to back Melon in a horse race to win, not place.
No, to win.
I already backed him, sure. You know that.
I know.
They know he stays 3 miles out. They're going to let him bowl along. It's going to happen. I'm telling you.
Come on, Melon.
All right, best of luck with that one, lads. Yeah. 1:15, sorry, at Sandown on Saturday is Caribbean Boy.
Oh, if he wins, I'm never going to let this go.
Someday a race on Saturday, that's all I know.
And Sunday.
Crazy.
I've got to study. I'm going to have to get up early to study and then take a break, watch the races. And Six Nations is on as well, so that should be good.
That's great. What a day of sport. Unbelievable.
I hope it's pissing out all day so we can just light the fire, sit in and chill.
So I don't have to bring the kids to the park.
Ma'am, on a babysit for a few hours.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So that's us done for tonight. We are back on Sunday with Talking Points, where we're going to do our Cheltenham Festival anti-post selections, our second last ones, and then the week after we're going to go back over our anti-post book and see how we're after getting on so far. And then on the 29th, as I said, is our Cheltenham Festival anti-post, why do I keep saying it? Cheltenham Festival preview. It's live at 7:30 on YouTube and Facebook. It's a Friday night, so...
When is it again? The 29th of February?
Oh God.
The 29th of February, is it? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you're not invited.
on a Friday. It might be the 26th on a Friday.
When is it? You get me confused now.
There's only
not
28
29
days in February.
There's 28.
Oh, is it? 26 then. Oh, see, I'm having an awful day. I told you I was wrecked before we came on this. I just not functioning today. 26th of February. It's a Friday. So 28 days of February, Andrew.
Go home and
It's
go
like-
to bed.
Oh,
Kellon
God's
Rish.
sake.
It's like Kellon Rish running on the 29th of February.
and an album
Told you you're gonna
photos,
injure
brother.
yourself with that pen.
I'm staying up way too late trying to get all new graphics sorted and get all editing equipment together. It's killing me.
Take a day off.
On Saturday and Sunday, I'm not even moving from the couch.
Yeah, should be a really good weekend. Looking forward to Sunday night now, reviewing it all. Should be good.
Will be. Right. So, as Tom said, we're back on Sunday. I might be awake a bit more. So again, lads, thanks for watching. Give us a like and subscribe. Comment below your nap next best, your lays, and everything else to go with it. And we see you again live Sunday at 8 o'clock.